you excited about this Chad Mendes Conor McGregor?
Very excited.
Yeah.
Very
Can I
excited
ask you
about that
why?
fight. As excited as Aldo, if not more.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Do you think that it's obviously a very, they have this golden boy, Conor McGregor, and it feels like Chad Mendes is this is a big challenge because
I think Chad Mendes should be the favorite
wrestler. Yeah.
I think he should be the favorite.
100% he should be the favorite.
I'm just amazed that somehow, some way, they didn't choose someone like Nate Diaz. Why did they choose Chad Mendes over this?
First of all, Nate Diaz is in a different weight class. He's never made 145 in his life.
That's true.
Second of all, Chad Mendes knocked Ricardo Lamas dead. Dead. With one punch. He just smashes dudes, goes after guys. He's a destroyer.
This is what you're saying. It's a bad, and I got to agree with Brian on this. I think it's a bad business idea for the UFC to put Chad Mendes in there. I think if there's two horrible matchups for Conor, Chad Mendes, Frankie Edgar. Let's do whatever we can to get Conor to fight Aldo in October.
See, I disagree. I think Chad Mendes easily could be as big a star as Conor McGregor. He wouldn't talk like Conor McGregor did, but neither did George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre was the biggest pay-per-view star of all time because he was a gentleman and he was he was.
No.
George St. Pierre
I'm saying
got
George
buys.
and Chad Mendes. George was a different star because he represented Canada and he was so dominant for a very, very long time after he lost.
Chad Mendes got beat twice by Jose Aldo. That's
but the last fight was razor close, and there's an argument that could be made that if they fought in America, he would have won that decision. There's also an argument to be made that if Jose Aldo didn't land that late punch after the first round that knocked Mendes down, had Mendes very hurt, it could have been a very different fight. Chad Mendes, who knows how badly he got hurt by that late punch.
Either way, he's lost to him twice.
It's true. But,
and so then he beats, let's say worst case scenario for the UFC, if I'm the UFC marketing team, it's like, God, Conor cannot get exposed. Let's not, if he goes in and gets knocked out in the first round,
I don't think like
what are we
that.
going to do?
I don't think like that.
I do. Because who's your biggest star right now? Ronda, Conor.
Yes.
Conor goes in there. He's talked all this trash that we love.
Conor's actually probably a bigger star than Ronda,
I agree.
which is crazy.
And he would be by far the biggest star if he wins this fight.
Let me tell you something. If Chad Mendes goes out there and starches him,
still not as
giant.
big as Conor.
Man, I don't know about all that.
I disagree, brother.
Let me tell you this. Here's some real facts. The numbers of tickets that are sold for this fight. Okay, this is going to break box office records in Vegas. Dana White told me that the tickets had plateaued. Nobody was buying more tickets. When Aldo pulled out and then Conor was forced to fight Chad Mendes, ticket sales spiked.
Really?
They went crazy.
I wonder how many were available, though.
There wasn't much available, but people were buying them, scalping them.
Chad's family and friends bought tickets.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a real spike. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm telling you, it's enough for Dana to talk to me about it on the phone.
You have Chad Mendes favored in this fight.
This is the thing. Conor McGregor could knock out any man in the world at 145
because of his
pounds.
power.
He's got some serious fucking hands. Yeah. Serious fucking hands. He throws his kicks almost disdainfully, almost like Nick Diaz style. And what he's doing with his kicks, in a lot of ways, is creating patterns to come in and blast you with punches.
True.
He throws all these kicks. Like, if you watch him fight Silva, he's throwing kicks with, like, minimal effort. Like, he's throwing them, he's smacking you with these kicks, but when he lands those punches, ding!
It's coming.
These punches have some serious pop. He's got beautiful... What's that?
It is Seaver that he's doing that on.
It's true, but it's also Dustin Poirier. He's throwing the same kicks. He threw a front leg hook kick. That was his first kick against Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
He's a wild man. But the point is, super confident, really believes his bullshit. All this stuff that he's saying, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
I love it. I love
he's
it.
Braveheart.
I love
this
it.
motherfucker. He's Mel Gibson.
Has he been?
I want him to win. I think for the UFC, he would be, if he wins this next fight, he's the biggest star we've ever had. I think he's bigger than Brock if he wins this fight. There's only one guy in the UFC that I watch right now, and I'm excited to watch. I gotta be honest, and that's Conor.
That's it?
That's it.
Come on, man.
I'm saying for me, as far as like...
How about Yair Rodriguez, that badass motherfucker from Mexico that fought in the last UFC?
He's a badass, but Conor,
Christ.
I'm like excited. I'm like, I've never seen shit like this. The way he moves, the way he talks, I'm like, I haven't seen this. I love watching him.
I think he's amazing. But I'm high on a lot of guys right now.
Right.
To say this is one of the best cards of all time, you bring up UFC 100, it will knock your dick in the dirt.
Matt Brown versus Tim Means, motherfucker. No one's even talking about that shit. That's a good fucking fight.
It's a good fight.
That's
it's
a
not
crazy
a blockbuster.
Fight. For me, that's a great fight, man.
Matchup-wise, it's a great fight.
Okay, what fight in UFC 100 is bigger than this? What fight in UFC 100 is bigger than this?
Mir Lesnar?
Not to me. Not to me.
Are you fucking shitting
No,
me?
it's bigger on paper as far as like the appeal, but as far as like stylistically,
GSP, Thiago Alves, Dan Henderson,
yes,
Michael
GSP,
Bisping. We're talking
Thiago
superstars,
Alves
sir.
at the time.
Here's a
Yeah.
question.
Who's the biggest superstar up there?
These
Conor.
aren't
He
superstars.
has 5
These are
fights.
two monsters.
No,
This is a
style-wise,
wicked fight.
these are great
That's
fights.
all I give a fuck
I'm talking
about.
about superstars, Joe Rogan. I'm talking
not
about
into that.
ratings.
I'm not a
You're talking about
star fucker.
entertainment,
I'm not a
motherfucker.
star fucker, Brendan
Bro,
Schaub.
go to
You
UFC
heard me.
100.
Tim
Go to
Means-
UFC 100.
Guys,
Tim Means
that
and
shit
Matt
will
Brown.
knock your
no,
dick
no, no,
in
no,
the
don't
dirt.
go to UFC 100.
Back in
Hold
the
on.
day, there was Super Bowl cards. He just turned it off.
I don't like. No, he did. I don't have
Super Bowl
control over
cards.
it.
son.
Why is John Howard, who was going to fight Brandon Thatch, why is he now fighting somebody else in the prelims in the undercard?
Excuse me.
But John Howard was supposed to fight Brandon Thatch.
Hey, UFC
because
100.
there was some injuries.
UFC
Oh, okay.
100. On the undercard is John Jones, Mark Coleman. What? Jim
Let me
Miller.
see. Yeah. I like this card better.
And look at that
I'm gonna be honest
main.
with you.
Look at the main card.
John Jones versus Jake O'Brien. Come on, that's a slaughter.
Still, it's John Jones on an undercard.
Where's John Jones before he was a champion?
A fucking monster.
He was a bad
looming in
motherfucker.
the dark.
Well, Matt Brown versus Tim Means is a better fight to me than John Jones versus Jake O'Brien. John Jones versus Jake O'Brien is an opportunity to watch John Jones choke out Jake O'Brien.
And that shit
no
was,
disrespect
and that
to
shit
Jake
was
O'Brien.
Dope. And
It
that shit was
dope.
so dope.
Tim Means versus Matt Brown is going to be a fucking crazy war.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about this fight. A lot to like.
can't wait.
I like this fight as much as I like the Aldo fight, if not more. I really do. Because I've been wanting to see.
disagree.
Yes, you're right. You're allowed to. I've been wanting to see Conor fight a wrestler.
But not on a 12-week notice, I don't.
I don't
I
give
think
a
it's
fuck.
fucked
I don't like
up.
watching shit happen. I do. I got a real problem.
Hey, if you're his coach, if you're Conor's coach, and you know he's going to get taken down, you just tell him to keep standing up. No jiu-jitsu, just keep standing up. Keep trying to stand up.
What kind of strategy are
I
you
don't
fucking?
know, man. Can you just
What would
sit
you
the
do,
next
though?
round out?
What do you ask him? What do you tell him?
It's Conor, man. He does his thing. You got to remember, he got taken down by Dennis Seaver.
I know.
People forget that. He got taken
remember
down.
it.
Popped up, but he got
Right.
taken down like 3 or 4 times.
It's harder
He
to pop up
popped
against Chad Mendes,
but he
than
got
it is
taken
against-
down.
We probably didn't anticipate that it was going to turn into a wrestling match at all, and it
Well,
was just
whatever it
standing up
is, you still got
straight.
taken down by Dennis Seaver.
Right. Probably
That's
just.
what worries me.
Chad Mendes is no fucking joke, dude.
Oh, but the problem is, if I'm a betting man, which I've been known to bet, if I'm a betting man, I think Chad Mendes knocks him out in the 3rd round, faking a takedown, landing a big overhand.
whoa.
That's what I think. What? What my heart wants, I want Conor to go out there and win.
Why do you
and his
want
thing.
Conor to win?
I want Conor to win because I like what he stands for. And when I met him, he was just a natural, genuinely good dude. And he's beating the game. I like people who beat the game.
Yeah.
He's a star. He's the 1% of 1%ers, and he backs it up. He's our Muhammad Ali. To see a guy lose on a matchup that he got on 12 days' notice against a completely different style, I don't want to see him go out like that, man. He has a chance to be great.
He's so
he has a chance
entertaining.
to be our LeBron James. But of course, if something horrible happens like this, what happens to him, man? Yeah, that's
So
not
you
great.
think the UFC's fucking up? You think the UFC should just postpone the fight?
I think it's a bad idea what they're doing, or they should.
If
give him
I
an
was
easier
his
matchup.
manager, and I swear to God, I said this on the podcast, I would tell him to fake a fucking injury and wait till October. I really
Well,
would.
you guys got to understand how much money has been spent on this promotion.
understand.
You're
And
looking at it very short sighted, just like the Reebok deal.
Should hold it.
Break the tank! Break the tank!
Break the tank!
You know what I'm saying? You're looking very short sighted. They make a quick buck this weekend, but in the grand
agree.
scheme of things, he has potential to be your biggest star of all time. But let's give him the worst matchup possible on 12 days' notice.
But-
and he just went through a whole camp. Who knows if he's healthy?
What if he wins?
Then he's the best.
That's the
wins.
gamble.
Hey,
That's
wins.
a big
That's a
gamble.
big-
Has
that's
the
a-
interim
It's a
title.
big
That's a
gamble.
big if.
Big
Tell
gamble.
Jose, I'm coming for the other belt. I've got the real belt.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I
Get
want
your
to hear.
spit bucket and shine up my belt and bring it here to me now.
Yeah.
If he wins, it pays off. It's
Yeah.
huge. It's the
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yes. Everyone in the UFC is
Man,
like, okay.
I
Well,
would- I'd get
there's
myself
so
an
many
ankle problem
questions
real
about
quick.
him, man. There's so many questions, and that's what's exciting about the Mendes fight is that it's look for sure Aldo was going to test him, but Mendes is going to fucking test him too.
in
man.
a different way.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's
Such a
rare you
different
get
style.
I'm just saying it's rare you get a guy of his capabilities, and we have something that could be great here.
His
to give him
entertainment
this
value.
horrible
He's so
matchup on
entertaining.
12 days
Yeah.
is tough.